Parenting podcasts can be a bit earnest. Parenting Out Loud is not that podcast.
This person who I may not agree with politically is trying to talk about integrating children, not just into his professional life, but into public life.
I have referred to myself as one and done. That article did make me rethink the term.
It took about 11 seconds for this to go viral.
Oh God, is this the ejaculate one? That is deranged and I love it.
Parenting changes the way you see everything. Parenting Out Loud takes the big conversations of the moment and puts them through that filter.
Because if parents are thinking about it, we're talking about it.
Parenting Out Loud. Listen weekly wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to a Mamma Mia podcast.
I was 28 when I got my melanoma, so I was young still. I just never expected it. I spent all my time at the beach, in the sun, and literally my whole life, I never, ever wore sunscreen. It never crossed my mind, skin cancer or anything. I just thought I would always be fine. And a lot of these young women think they're invincible like I did, and that's not how it is.
Hello there and welcome to a special episode. Today you are tuning into me, Claire Murphy, and someone you may know well for their life in the limelight. As a fitness influencer, model and entrepreneur, Tammy Hembrow has risen to fame. She even rubbed shoulders with the Kardashian-Jenner clan back in 2018, leading to her and her sisters being dubbed Australia's answer to the Kardashians. Tammy is in some ways synonymous with the sun-drenched golden tan lifestyle of the Gold Coast. She's built a global brand on that very lifestyle.
I'm a single mum. I've got 3 kids. I've been in some very public relationships in the past, and it's my life at the end of the day. End of the day, I'm just a human, guys. I'm a human. I make human mistakes.
Hey guys, we are here at the gym.
Just because I don't have a lot of time doesn't mean I don't want to slam the glutes. 1, 2.
I swear I can already feel the pump getting pumpier.
But living that sun-drenched life came at a serious cost. Tammy spent her childhood and teen years at the beach, soaking up rays for hours on end without ever giving it a second thought. She thought she was invincible until a harmless-looking freckle on the back of her leg turned out to be a melanoma. Tammy joins us today to share her skin cancer journey and her powerful message to her millions of followers. Tammy, thank you so much for joining us today. Looks like from the beautiful sunny Gold Coast. Looks like the weather is nice.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It is a beautiful day today. It's meant to be like 30 degrees today. So
amazing.
It feels like summer. I don't know why I'm wearing a jumper right now.
Why are you wearing a jumper right now?
I just threw it on for the school run this morning and now I'm regretting wearing it. It's a bit hot.
This is just where we're at. Tammy, we are talking to you today about your skin cancer journey. So I wanted to start off with getting an idea on who pre-melanoma Tammy was, because you're living on the Gold Coast. We know what the Gold Coast life is like. So tell me a little bit about your habits pre-melanoma.
Yeah, I grew up on the Gold Coast, so I spent all my time at the beach, in the sun, and literally my whole life, I never, ever wore sunscreen. And in like high school and stuff, I used to lie in the sun for hours to get a tan, obviously, and I never wore sunscreen. And I never used to burn either. So I would just straight away just get really tanned. It never crossed my mind, skin cancer or anything. I just thought, I was blessed to get like naturally really tanned and I would always be fine. But yeah, I never wore sunscreen. I never even like gave it a second thought, really.
Did you feel like the fact that you did tan and not burn made you feel like you were a bit immune to that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I honestly thought I was immune. I thought it just something like that would never happen to me. I was convinced that my skin was just special and I never got burnt or anything.
Did you miss the no hat, no play policy at school? Was that around when you were a kid?
Not really. My primary school that I went to was in Currumbin Valley. There was 100 people in the whole entire school. It was really small. So the rules were very relaxed at that school. And then, when I got to high school, I was a bit of a rebel. So it never was really a big thing for me.
So would it have been like, oh, God, hats and sunscreen? Could you not? Is that the vibe high school Tammy would have had?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because my dad has always been like, wear sunscreen, wear a hat. He's very much like that. And I just never used to listen to him.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that parents telling you to do stuff is often the way to not get them to do stuff. As you know, as a parent yourself now, sometimes you need some reverse psychology. So you've spent heaps of time out in the sun. You are pretty open about how much you love going to the beach and spending time in the ocean. And so you are just out there feeling immune. What then alerts you to maybe something on the back of your leg, which you would not be seeing every day in the mirror? What alerts you to that being an issue?
I had a little tiny freckle, which I thought nothing of. I have new little freckles pop up all the time. It didn't look suspicious. It didn't look weird or anything. And I had just started getting skin checks. And I actually had one booked. I was getting like one yearly. Living here, I thought, it's probably a good idea to do that. And I actually put off my appointment multiple times. I kept having to cancel and reschedule because I was so busy. So I was like, you know what, we'll just change it to next month. We'll change it to next month. And I put it off honestly about 5 times. And then I finally went to the appointment because my PA was like, go, stop canceling it. Like, just go. Like, just get it over and done with.
She's like, I've rescheduled this 20 times now. I cannot make one more phone call.
Like, I'm not rebooking this again for you. So I was like, okay, I'll go. And I went, and my doctor thought it looked a little bit suspicious, this tiny little freckle. And I was like, oh, that's weird. And then I ended up getting a phone call from him not long after that appointment saying it is melanoma. And I was just like, what? I was so shocked. I had no idea. And I'm so glad I went to that appointment now.
When you are told over the phone, I imagine you put the phone down and then you immediately look at that thing on the back of your leg. Like, do you look at it differently as soon as you put the phone down?
It still looked just so like nothing. Like, if I hadn't gone to that appointment, I never would have thought, like, I have other freckles that look way more suspicious than that. And it was just like a tiny, tiny little freckle. So it really wasn't anything out of the ordinary. The only thing about it was that it was on its own. It wasn't like near any other freckles, I guess. So I guess that was the only sort of suspicious thing, but I still wouldn't have even thought that was suspicious.
I'm guessing you wouldn't have known either. I spoke to a skin cancer specialist who told me that it is incredibly common for Australian women to get melanoma on their calf. Did you know that that was like one of the most prevalent spots that women get skin cancer here in Australia?
No, I had no idea. That's so interesting.
We're just getting out with our mini skirts and shorts on, leaving them out to hang in the sun.
Yeah, you don't really like think about, especially, in like what you're wearing and stuff. And you're just in the sun like every day. Well, me, I'm in the sun all the time. So I never gave it a thought really.
How long between that phone call to when they call you in to have it removed?
It was pretty quickly after that I went in to get it removed. And I was actually so shocked at the amount of my leg they had to take out. Like, it was a pretty big chunk of my leg that they had to take out. Like, the freckle was a tiny, tiny freckle and the area was probably like that big and like deep. And so I have like a big T scar on the back of my leg now. And it was pretty shocking. Like, obviously they had to make sure they were getting it all and everything. But I was like, the fact that a tiny little freckle like that can do that much damage is like crazy.
How does that then change how you see yourself? I mean, considering what you do for a living and you're out there with your face and your body and your personalities all kind of packaged up into what you do as a job, how do you then factor in the fact that you have this really big scar on the back of your leg now, or does that not bother you?
The scar doesn't bother me. The only thing about the scar that bothered me was when it was first healing. It's right in a weird spot under my knee. So I couldn't train properly for a while. So that was like something that was really frustrating. And I actually started working out a bit sooner than I was told to. And it ended up getting infected, which, it was just like, so it made me take some time off working out and things like that. So that was frustrating. But the scar, like how it looks, I'm lucky it's not on my face or anything. It's on the back of my leg. But I think it's just like a nice reminder, to be honest. It reminds me that I'm not invincible and I need to think about these things.
Was there even time to really worry about it in between, like the fact that you didn't go to that appointment with anything in mind and that it was so quick between being told it's melanoma to having it cut out? Did you even have a moment to kind of sit down and go, oh my goodness, I actually have skin cancer? Like, did that even settle in that time frame?
I couldn't really wrap my head around it. I was like, this is like something that can be very deadly and it's quite like a scary thing. I just couldn't understand that I had it. I was like, how has this happened? Like, is this real? So yeah, I didn't have a lot of time to sort of process it. I think I was just like in shock the whole time. But yeah, super grateful that we obviously found it when we did.
How do you feel about teenage you who was out in the sun and feeling like nothing can touch you? Like, do you regret the choices that you made then, or do you look back and think, I had to kind of do that to learn the lesson now?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like everything in life you can learn something from. I wouldn't change anything, and I just feel like I just didn't know better, and now I do, and I've learned so much, and now I can hopefully teach that to my kids. And I'm always say every time I'm with my friends in the sun, I'm like, put on sunscreen. Like I say it to everyone I meet now. I'm like, I had melanoma, like, wear your sunscreen. So I think I wouldn't change anything. I don't like regret it, but I hope others can learn from it. But yeah, teenage me, she didn't know better.
Did teenage you hear about slip, slop, slap? I feel like we all got told that. Did that just not land for you?
Yeah, it really didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
like it just didn't.
I was very rebellious when I was a teenager, and I did think I was invincible. You never think something like that is going to happen to you. Like, you see things happen to other people and you're like, oh, it wouldn't happen to me. And I was very much like that. And I feel like maybe that was something I had to go through to learn.
Yeah. Maybe public health safety messages were not high priority for younger Tammy.
No.
Do you feel like, and this is something that I often think about with anyone who's in the public eye, whether that's, someone who's sporting, political, whatever it might be, you are effectively a role model now, whether you want to be or not. Do you think now, we've talked about the fact that public health services messaging did not hit home for you. Do you think that now people like yourself who are in a position where you do have a following and where you can reach people, do you feel a responsibility to now pass on some of those public health messages, in your instance being sun safe, and maybe that will hit home a little bit more for younger people than, say, the slip, slop, slap, seek and slide message does?
Yeah, well, I think like even for me, if the same social media and stuff was around back then, maybe that would have affected me differently.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like listening to people in the public eye that maybe you follow and you admire and things like that can definitely have more likely to listen to, hopefully. So I hope in that way I can have a positive impact and some of my younger audience will listen to me.
Okay, so how does a Gold Coast girlie reinvent herself after this? Because you are a sun worshipper, you love going to the beach. How do you then reassess your life habits in the aftermath of that? Because, it's a big wake-up call, right?
Yeah. So I still love the beach. I still go to the beach all the time. I obviously use SPF now. And I've always been strict on putting sunscreen on my kids, but even when like Wolf and Sass were younger, like 9 years ago, I still never put sunscreen on myself at that time. Always put it on them all the time. And I just didn't, I don't know.
Is that part of that feeling immune to it still?
Yeah. And so now we definitely all wear sunscreen, and we'll go to the beach in the morning or the afternoon where the sun's like not as strong. But yeah, it's definitely made me rethink things. And I definitely don't go like lay in the sun for hours now like I used to just to get a tan. I spray tan all the time now. But I used to just go to the beach just to tan. Like now I go because I want to play with my kids on the sand. I want to go for a swim. I'm definitely not going to the beach to like tan.
What does the aftercare look like after you've had a melanoma removed? Like I imagine you have to go to appointments pretty more frequently than once a year after that.
Yeah, so I just graduated to every 6 months right now, but I was going every 3 months, which felt like I basically lived at my doctor's office. Yeah. I felt like I was there all the time because, like 3 months flies by, especially because I'm so busy all the time. Yeah, I was going there so often. Felt weird just because I'm obviously at a higher risk now. Yeah, it's just such a strange shift that I went from cancelling this appointment 5 times to now I'm there like all the time.
I guess you don't cancel these ones anymore, yeah?
No, I definitely don't. I make sure I go to every single one now.
In between those visits, like, is there someone in your life that will check for you, like in spaces that you can't see? Like, do you have someone look at your back and just let you know in case there's something you have to go a little bit quicker for, or do you wait for those doctor's appointments to check in?
I look at myself. If I see anything suspicious, I usually have an appointment like around the corner. So then when I go in, I'll be like, is this one okay? And every single time I've been pretty paranoid about so many little freckles now. And he's like, no, that's fine. It's fine. So it's just so strange that I have no idea like which ones could be something. So yeah, those appointments are really important.
So now you no longer feel immune. Now you are following the steps and making sure that you are safe, and you've always protected your kids from the sun. But I don't know if you've seen, there's been some TikTok trends of late of young women in particular who are tanning, like hardcore tanning, so that they get tan lines and then they show off those tan lines like it's something to be proud of. How does that make you feel when you see that?
Yeah, it's sad because I feel like that was me, like when I was like younger, and I've seen so many of these, like the tan line trends and things like that. And I'm like, I was 28 when I got my melanoma, so I was young still. I just never expected it, and I'm like, it's going to catch up with you. And a lot of these young women think they're invincible, like I did, and that's not how it is. And unfortunately, some won't catch it. They won't find it in their appointments, and they'll, miss it, and then it can end up really tragically.
Do you reckon, just quietly, before you got a melanoma that you would have maybe participated in that trend had it been like big when you were young?
It's hard to say because obviously I didn't have TikTok and stuff when I was that younger age. So I don't really know. I don't think so. But then, yeah, I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We don't know what young us would actually have been into at the time, especially when we're a bit young and stupid. We might have done those things. You never know.
Probably.
Yeah. What about when you see like Khloe Kardashian famously had a melanoma cut out of her face, and we saw that process on the Kardashians as well? Is it like, do you feel a bit like a kindred spirit when you see other people going through that kind of thing now too?
Yeah, well, it just shows you how like it's much more common than you'd think. I don't know what made me think I was like so invincible before because it's such an actual common thing. And yeah, it's nice to see things like that being shared in the public so other younger girls can see it, younger people can see it.
How did you explain, or did you even try and explain it to the kids? Because obviously you're already being as sun-safe as possible with them, but like, do you explain what happened to you and give them an idea of, the potential damage the sun can do to their skin?
Yeah, absolutely. I had a talk with them about it and explained how serious it is, like hopefully trying to make them not make the same mistakes that I did when I was like a teenager and stuff when they're going out with their friends in the sun and things like that. I hope they make better choices than I did. So I definitely tried to explain like how serious it is.
What message would you have for people now after learning what you've learnt and going through that phase where you did think it would never happen to me and that I'm basically immune to all of this? Like, what message do you have to people who might be going out on the beach today on this beautiful day that we're currently sitting in to lay on the beach and get a tan?
I would say enjoy the beach, but be smart about it. Protect your skin. We have amazing like spray tans and things now. Like if you really want to be tan that bad, get a spray tan. Yeah, just be smart about your skin.
So what can we see coming our way from you for the rest of 2025 and maybe even into 2026? It's not that far away.
I have a lot of really exciting things coming up, actually. Some things that are very out of my comfort zone, some things that I've never done before, but people have to stay tuned for that. Also just working on my supplement brand Selfish with my sisters. Some really exciting things happening there. And yeah, just keep them busy.
Keep them busy on the Gold Coast in the sunshine. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us today. We know that young people really look up to you, and it would be really great if they could learn from someone that they know and respect that dancing with the sun sometimes can have some pretty treacherous results, right?
Yeah, I'm almost glad that it happened to me so I can influence some young women about it.
I think this is really going to help people maybe rethink some serious choices that they're making out in the sun. So, Tammy, thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us today for this very powerful lesson that we are not invincible, and a little reminder of that government advice we've heard all our lives, but like teenage Tammy maybe didn't take seriously. That message, of course, is slip, slop, slap, seek and slide. Slip on a shirt, slop on sunscreen, slap on a hat, seek shade and slide on sunnies. Take this as a crucial reminder to book in these skin checks with your doctor. And again, remember, if you have any worries that we haven't addressed here, or even if we have, again, check in with your own doctor to make sure you're getting the right advice for you. Well is produced by me, Claire Murphy, and our senior producer, Sally Best, with audio production by Scott Stronach, video production by Julian Rosario, and social production by Ellie Moore. Mamma Mia acknowledges the traditional owners of the land we've recorded this podcast on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation and the Wanneroo people. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures.
Mamma Mia acknowledges the traditional owners of the land we have recorded this podcast on, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation. We pay our respects to their elders past and present and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander cultures.